Hey guys, if you're wondering about law school grades, what you should be doing on your winter break, and just how law school grades factor into internships and possible jobs, then you're at the right place. I'm going to talk about all this and more in this video. Stay tuned. Okay, but before I get into what you came here for today, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, click that notification bell so that you're the first to see content when we post every Sunday. Okay, let's talk real quick about law school grades. So if you're a 1L and you have graded session, because I know some people have not had graded sessions during this 2020 session, but if you have graded session this semester, you're going to be probably biting your nails over the winter break trying to figure out what grades you got on torts and Civ Pro and crim law, things of that nature. And what happens is if you're at a school where they have a curve means that only a certain amount of people can get certain grades. So they might have a curve that says, okay, only 5 people can get A's. Only 5 people can get B. Well, of course, a greater number because your class is probably bigger than that. But just an example, only a certain amount of people can actually get certain grade letters. And so you want to actually make sure that you're pushing through for your final exams and trying to stand out from your next person sitting next to you. And I know that's probably some intense pressure because in all reality, you and the person sitting next to you could have turned in quality work, but the law professor's hands are kind of tied because they can only give out a certain amount of A's. And so they have to say, okay, this person did this little bit extra, and so I'll give them an A. And so you want to try to make sure that you're one of those people that gets awarded one of those A's. It's very competitive in the sense that you know that you can be doing your best and still not get the A, but keep in mind that you want to do whatever you can to make sure that you go over and beyond what the law professor is expecting. If you watch my video about how to study for law school exams and how to memorize it, just how to take an exam, those tips may help you and may push you over so that the law professor says, okay, this person is entitled to an A. If you're like me and didn't go to a law school that didn't have a curve, this can be a good thing or bad thing. And I'll mention kind of the pros and cons of it later. But at my school, if everybody did A quality work, then everybody got an A. The reality of that happening is very low. But it puts less pressure and competition between the students when they know that everybody, if they've done a good portion of their work, they can actually get a good grade. It doesn't make you kind of look at your neighbor with the side eye and say, I got to make sure I do better than you because I want to get a better grade than you. So keep that in mind when you're actually taking the exams, if you're at a graded school that has a curve or doesn't have a curve. It kind of plays into what your final graduation status will be if you graduated in the top tier of your class. It's based off the grades. And so if you're aiming for trying to graduate at the top of your class, the curve would make a difference for you. So keep that in mind. So grades make a difference as well when you're trying to compete for internships or jobs after law school. And it's kind of crazy, even after a certain amount of years, if you graduate, they're still asking about your grades. And I feel like that's kind of elitist because at that point, I've determined that I'm a practicing attorney and you still care about what grades I got in law school. I mean, does that really make a difference? I don't know, but it does come up again. So you want to do your best so that when you present your resume, you can put on your resume that you had at least a 3.0 grade point average. So when you're competing for internships or jobs, you can be at the top of the tier when they're deciding, okay, who should we accept as an intern or a future associate. So keep that in mind. Grades aren't the end all be all, but they do play a factor in deciding. Some people, some law firms, some places don't even consider you if you don't have a certain grade point average. So you want to do your best. Also learn the material, but do your best so that you look the best on paper, because then you can have the opportunity possibly to get an interview and then explain other things, what's so awesome about you and why you should be working at the particular firm or agency. So keep that in mind. Okay, another thing is while you're on winter break, you could be doing a lot of things. Catch up on some much needed sleep, or if you want, you can portion out your time, get a little bit of rest, and then get back to grinding. If you're one of those people that want to have an internship your first summer after your first year of law school, now's the time to kind of look out for the opportunities. And although you may not have your grades yet, you can still see what's out there. And some agencies or firms may say you can send your grades once you get them, but you can still apply. So on your winter break, you want to be kind of hustling to make sure that you're setting yourself up for the future. I would say after my 1L year, I didn't actually intern. I actually took classes. So I would say your summer after your first year of law school, I would say either take some classes so that you can get those out of the way, and then intern that first fall, the first year of your second year of law school, or do an internship so that you can have that experience as well. But either way, don't do nothing for the summer. Like, that's not an option. You need to be doing something productive that's going to help propel your career thereafter. So if taking classes is an option, do that. If you're going to do an internship during your winter break, this is the time to be actually looking into things while you're waiting for your grades. And some agencies or law firms understand that you might not have grades yet, or that some law schools have not even opted to grade the first semester. So they understand that. That's nothing new. They're living in this age as well, so they understand what's going on. But be on the lookout for opportunities that will be presenting themselves for the summer after your 1L year. And then for the 2Ls and 3Ls, this is the time to also be doing internships as well, so that it's putting you in place for a job. That's if you decide that you want to work for someone else. Let's say you want to hang your own shingle. You still want to get some experience on somebody else's dime, because you're going to make mistakes. If you hang your shingle and you haven't got any experience anywhere else having time to make mistakes on somebody else's dollar, you're going to make them on your dollar. So if you say, I don't need to do internships because I'm going to be working for myself, that's fine, great. Still do an internship, because you're going to get some invaluable experience working with seasoned attorneys who can give you some advice about how to be more effective if you decide to hang your own shingle after law school, immediately after law school. For those of you who are looking for other jobs, check out my video about how to land a judicial clerkship. That's another option that you can do after law school. And I interned for judges, and then I end up clerking for a judge. So if you want to take that route, now is the time during winter break to kind of look out for those opportunities so that you can apply to them as well. And keep in mind that grades play different factors in all this. Don't get too stressed out about it, but keep it in mind when you're applying for particular jobs that they do consider those things. Okay, so I know it's called winter break, but as I talked about it, grades are going to play into things. So your break should actually be used to kind of rest up a little bit, but don't get too relaxed, because you know you're here during law school. It's only 3 years of your life. You want to make the best of your time. Also, check out other videos on our channel about how to prepare for after law school, or even personal finance if you're trying to prepare how you're going to pay these student loans back when you get out of law school. All of that is here on TXE Tells All. See you in the next video.